My name is Josh Miller. I own Riverstone Kennels, and I've been training gun dogs for more than 16 years. I have field trialed, I've hunt tested, but at the end of the day, I'm a duck hunter. You might find that the duck in our Duck Dogs podcast is spelt uniquely. The UK stands for my British Labs. I love my British Labs. I love what they offer me, both as a part of my family and the high motor in the field. As you're going to find, I have some pretty special dogs. Follow along in our podcast series here as we talk about both in the field hunting and in the field training situations that will hopefully help you progress with your dog at home. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Duck Dogs. I am your host, Josh Miller. And before we get into the meat and potatoes of today, let's make sure we spend the time to thank our sponsors, because this show doesn't happen without them here. So first, a thank you to Eukanuba. Eukanuba is the presenting sponsor of this show. Eukanuba Premium Performance Sport 3020 is the blend of food that I feed here at the kennel. Also feed my personal dogs, and I don't have enough good things to say about it. So from coat to teeth to energy level to recovery, all around, I am extremely happy and impressed with this food. So go check them out, www.eukanuba.com. Also, thank you to Sitka Gear. Sitka is what I am dressed in right now, literally head to toe, and it is the most comfortable and the best performing, I should say athletic wear, but it's also just my everyday wear. So whether I'm hunting or training or simply out and about, I'm comfortable. You can get more done. It's the best clothing that I have ever worn. So www.sitkagear.com. Also, thank you to Gun Dog Supply. Gun Dog Supply is your one-stop shop for all of your hunting and training needs for your four-legged hunting partner. So check them out. Great people, great products, great customer service, www.gundogsupply.com. Thank you to Lucky Duck. Lucky Duck is your I think is the only 5-star crash test rated kennel, both in the intermediate and the large sizes. Also check out the fan. Also check out the pad, the cover. They've got you covered when it comes to protecting your hunting partner. So www.luckyduck.com. And last but certainly not least, thank you to Retriever Roadmap. Retriever Roadmap is the premier online training program. So while you are training at home, you have a guide to help you along the way, step by step, via video library. So go check it out, www.retrieverroadmap.com. I hope you all are having a fantastic week. And I'll tell you what, ever since I did the Be Great episode and talked about how important it is that I'm great, right? I'm not okay, I'm not fine, I'm great. And the mental stimulus that comes with that, it is so awesome. And I love so much how many people are getting with me going, when I ask, how are you doing? And I'm great. I'm fantastic. I'm excellent. I love it. And we've had so much positive, feedback off of that. So, love hearing it. You guys keep it coming. Go continue to be great. Gosh, it just doesn't this. It gets you in a good mood. I love it. I love it. So, let me tell you what's going on here. So we at the kennel are having what we call internally, we call it Hell Week. We will never experience what the Navy SEALs do during their Hell Week, but this is as close to it as we get here at the kennel. And what Hell Week is for us is all of our intermediate, or really this week in particular, it's all of our intermediate dogs. So we have 16 dogs going home, and owners from all over the country. We had owners this week in from Texas, from Utah, from Montana, from Washington, from Florida, from New York, from North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Georgia. I know I'm missing some in there, but my goodness, Nebraska. I mean, it's been so fun having so many people here. But as you can imagine, when you have a dog for 3 to 4 months, there's a lot of teaching that goes into teaching the owners. We love this time, but it is on our end, it's very time consuming. It is in depth. Of course, you're dealing with, people. And then the curveballs that we get thrown on a daily basis, whether it's like it is today, 96 degrees, whether it's, raining and thunderstorm, there's so many things that get thrown at us that we don't have as much flexibility to roll with the punches. We kind of have to go at, the speed of, we have people here, we have schedules, we have appointments after them, we have appointments before them. So we need to make it work. And, Mother Nature hasn't been terrible, to us this week. But on top of all of this, I still have my advanced class. We still have our puppy class. We still have training that we need to get done, So that's why we call it Hell Week. There's just a hell of a lot to get done. But my team is handling it fantastically. Our clients have all been great. It's been really, it hasn't been nearly as bad as it could have been. So busy, but a good busy, and we cannot wait to head into this 4th of July weekend and get one extra day of recovery, one extra day of just taking a breath, enjoying, some family time. It'll be good. So, but I want to tell you a little bit about, what's going on. It'll kind of lead me through. I have 2 big things I want to talk about here today. And, the first one, I want to share a little bit of a story. When I say a little bit of a story, I'm not going to tell you the whole story. There's a lot of personal stuff in there for this individual. But I want to tell a little bit about a client that we had at the kennel here this week. And it's been a pleasure working with this person. It has been a lot of fun, but I think the background and how we got to where we were here, a couple of days ago, I think is a really interesting ride. And so, Austin, I know that you listen to this podcast. And so I'm going to share a little bit of your story here because I think this is really, really neat. So Austin got a puppy. Her name is Birdie. Birdie would have been, I think roughly, forgive me if I am wrong, Austin, but I think like a year and a half older or so. And interestingly enough, from Texas, and we here in Wisconsin, I just don't take intermediate or advanced dogs in for training over the winter. I don't think it's fair to the owner. I don't think it's fair to the dog, because think of everything we can accomplish and do in the spring and in the summer that we just quite frankly can't do in the winter. We have no water. It's ice, so no water work. Even something as much as running marks. Well, if we're fighting 2 feet of snow, we are not going to get the same work done as if it's 73, 74 degrees outside, right? It's just not the same. And so because of that, one of the many reasons, but that's a big reason why we don't take intermediate dogs in over the wintertime. So being in Texas and, I think Austin looking to do what was best for Birdie, got her with a different trainer and was hoping to kind of get a jump start on what it was that we were going to do. Won't get into too many details here, but let's just say it did not go well. The other trainer, the other situation that she was in was not a good one. There were a lot of things done that moved her backwards, and kudos to Austin for seeing it, because she actually called me and she's like, hey, I sent Birdie, here. I just wanted her to get a little extra exposure. There's some stuff going on I'd love your opinion on. I saw it. I think agreed is probably the wrong way of saying it. I was probably adamant of, hey, we need to pull the plug on this because it's going to put me in a bad position with her when I get her, right? And so, fortunately enough, we did that. We got Birdie in, and Austin, being fantastic and trusting me, we got her in early, for a few weeks before the rest of her class came in, so I could evaluate and kind of see, okay, what damage was done, and what do we need to do to get her back on track. Austin, I can tell you this today. I definitely sugarcoated the severity in which we had to get over things, and mainly because I didn't want you to panic. I didn't want you being in Florida. I know this dog is the love of your life. You adore this dog. I was very confident we were going to get over it. I was not trying to lead you on or deceive you, but I didn't want I feel like you and I got to know each other enough that I didn't want to worry you at home. We did talk about that there were some things that set us back that we had to work over, but Dave and I had to work our tails off, to undo some of the things that had been done. Now you fast forward, it's fantastic. She's great. She finished off, I think, very well. I'm very, very happy with where she's at and how she's going. I sure hope Austin feels the same way, because she's great. She does do a really good job. But it was so fun going from where she was, the owner here in Austin definitely understanding that there was some negativity that had gone on, and trusting, me to get her over that. And there was just something a little special about having them at the kennel, and just watching Birdie do her thing and watching what she's capable of and watching the training. There's just this extra sense of pride, that we have, because we can look at it and be like, we did that. And Austin was maybe a little different in this, in that I never felt like Austin didn't trust us. But normally and generally speaking, when people are at a different trainer, have a poor experience, and they come to us, we normally have to work twice as hard to make that person happy, because we are at least a little bit, untrustworthy. And the reason being is, like, if you went to a dentist and that dentist did something wrong that hurt you, you probably walk into the next dentist and going, well, you're not that guy, but still, I'm not loving this, right? And so it is something we take pride in flipping that around. But here, when we were done, Austin and I, we kind of stood in the office and had a really, really good conversation, and before they headed back to Texas. And there was something that really interesting that she talked about, and this topic has come out now in probably multiple fashions in the last week. And so I think anytime I find these trendy topics, I like to run with it here on the podcast, because maybe there's more of you that have this kind of thought. So we talked about what Birdie wasn't. I think this is such an interesting topic. What Birdie wasn't. So what I mean by that is, what Austin said is, well, she's just not, she's not that dog that's the next level. And when I get, so this Birdie herself is not a dog from us as far as a puppy goes, but her next puppy is going to be. And so, I think we were kind of talking because we can look at Birdie and we can say, hey, for my next dog, I think I would like this. Like, look at the things that you maybe wish that your current dog had, and what would you do different with your next dog? But here's what's so interesting to me. I really believe that we have certain dogs in our life for certain reasons. So for this instance, Birdie, what Austin had talked about was, I wish he was a little harder charging. I wish he would, not be as lackadaisical at times. I wish he'd be maybe a little more intense, those types of things. But my answer was, being that this is Austin's, first gun dog, going to get her into hunting, going to be the first dog that she has to handle out in the field, that although she's not that, she's the perfect dog for what she needs now. So I'm going to back off of dogs and kind of tell you guys, what I just currently went through in this exact sense. So I shared with you guys a couple episodes back, and I'll rehash it a little bit just in case there's some people out there that haven't listened to my background here or what I've been up to. But I'm I've really gotten into roping, so calf roping. I'm not into team roping yet because I'm trying to take this one thing at a time. And I looked at calf roping as like, that is the hardest, the most difficult for me because there's so much to it between the riding, the roping, the dismount, the run, the flip, the tie. Like there's a lot going on there, and it's very difficult, which I love. And so I've really gotten into that. I've only been doing it for a few months, but I am progressing from what all my mentors and teachers are telling me extremely quickly. So I'm going to pat myself on the back here. About a week ago, probably a week and a half ago, I had my first run where I got to chase calves and I caught my first calf. And it was like such a great feeling because I've been roping on a dummy for months and I just hadn't had the opportunity. So the first 2 times that I got to chase calves, I got to chase 5 each day, and I caught one of the 5. And it honestly, when I caught that first one, all the guys that teach me are like none of us would have put money. Like nobody catches one of their first calves. Nobody does because there's just too much going on. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Next time, same thing, catch 1 out of 5, which really irritated me because I want to improve. I want to get better, but it is just so difficult. Okay, so I catch 1 out of 5 both times. But I'm to a point now where the horse that I'm using, I need to have a better horse. And all those guys are telling me that too. Like the horse I'm using right now is basically, or was using, was a retirement horse. He's not fast. He's not anything, but he was a great, sound, very, very, very safe horse that I could learn. I could get my body language, my muscle memory down. I could do all this in a horse that had been there, done that. I don't have to worry about it. Okay. So now I have to horse shop. So now I have to go find a new horse. Right. And, one of the other reasons is that I was basically borrowing that other horse. And as the horse is getting older, I wanted to be fair to the owner and the horse and not use the heck out of this horse. So, we go shopping, we start looking around, and I'm looking for different horses. This topic came up. So what is the right dog for you? So for me, in this situation, what is the right horse for me? Well, I can tell you what I wanted was the fire breather, the super fast, the super stylish, the horse that wants to make me say, wow, I want a younger horse so I can have him for longer, yada, 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 yada. Okay. What I ended up with was a horse that is a significant upgrade from what I was currently riding. I got a horse that is certainly better than me. It's going to elevate my game, but it's going to push me to be better. And a horse that likely in 2 years I'm going to outgrow and have to shop and upgrade again. And this horse will likely be a babysitter of sorts for my kids, for my daughter, for my son, because they're really getting into this too. So a question you might be asking is, why would you do that? Why would you do that if in 2 years you have to go try to shop all over again and get another horse? Okay, here's the answer. Because what is the right dog for you? What is the right horse for me? In Austin's case, the right dog was Birdie. She doesn't need a dog that is a fire breather that's 100 miles an hour, that's go, go, go. And the way that the comparison I put was Birdie's an Audi where the Ferrari's nice. The Ferrari's flashy. The Ferrari's sportier, is faster, is all this stuff, right? But being a new driver, you're likely going to crash. The Audi's probably going to be safer. It's not going to hurt as bad. It's going to be more forgiving. That Ferrari's going to hurt and hurt really bad when you crash. Less forgiving. Can't make as many mistakes. Okay, there's a lot there. And here, with what she has, she is going to learn to be a better driver. That's what I was looking for in this horse. Although I wanted all that other stuff, what it really came down to was, look, the horse I got was very safe in the box, which the box is when you get set before you nod and they let the calf go and you chase. That is a area that a lot of horses can be very unsafe because they are jacked up. They are ready to go. They want to go. And I am not as experienced in this yet to be able to handle that as well. I need a horse that's going to go in there safe. I need a horse that is going to push me, a horse that's faster, a horse that works the rope, a horse that does all that stuff. But he might not be the best at all that. But guess what? He can go do that and shut it down, and I can put my 3.5-year-old daughter on him, and he walks around quiet as can be, calm as can be, safe as can be. That is worth its weight in gold to me. The horse that I wanted probably can't do that, right? Probably can't go from that to being a family horse. Just like a lot of dogs, like you want that fire breather. That fire breather might not be able to come home and lay with your kids in bed at night, right? What is the right dog for you? Now, what I would say is, after Austin has Birdie for another 2-3 years, they become great hunting partners. They love it. Well, Austin's going to know, okay, this is what I wish Birdie did better. This is what I wish she did. Maybe she ran harder. She was a little hotter in the field. Okay, I'm ready for that now. But you're ready for that now because you were successful with Birdie. If you are puppy shopping, I really urge you to take this into consideration. Finding what is right for you and being honest with yourself, I think, is the difference between you being, then the perception, rather, being successful and feeling like you have a great dog versus not. There are a lot of great dogs out there. Maybe not great, a lot of good dogs out there that are not perceived as good dogs because the owners can't control them. They are too much for their owners. Right? Like, I probably couldn't go drive a NASCAR. Just because I drive my pickup doesn't mean that I can jump in a NASCAR and be successful driving around the track at however fast they go. Right? Be honest with yourself. It's really, really important. So, congrats, Austin. You did everything right. You've got a great dog. Cannot wait to see what the future holds for you guys. But, okay, phase 2 here. I'm actually kind of excited to talk about this because I love how many people shoot back feedback to me off of these podcasts. I love how many people resonate with what I'm saying. I love how many people are like, gosh, that's me. I'm the same. I'm like that, all this stuff. The one word that continues to come back around to me is perfectionist. I am a perfectionist in about every sense of the meaning. I hate when things are out of place. I hate when people are late. I hate when things don't go right. I hate when we put in all the work, we can't get there. And I will obsess over trying to make things perfect. I once had a hunting party, still a good friend of mine. We just unfortunately don't get to hunt as much anymore. His name is Dylan. He's one of my best friends. And we were going out to North Dakota one time. And we were, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 hours into the drive. And all of a sudden, he's in the passenger seat, and he's like, will you stop? And I'm like, stop what? And he's like, do you even realize how many times you've wiped the screen of your radio off? And I'm like, had not occurred to me. But I do know that if there is one speck of dust that I can see on there, it irritates me, and I have to wipe it off. I notice every single time I do it now. But to the point, I love to be as close to perfect as I can. When it comes to the dogs, I am the same way. I love to strive for perfection. Okay. And I've had so many people reach out to me and go, gosh, I really want to be perfect. I really want to be perfect. I want to strive for that perfection. I want that perfect dog. Okay. So let's talk about perfection. Let's talk about perfection because I think we need to define what is perfection and why we chase it. Perfection to me is, in dogs, that thing that I know I'm going to chase and never catch. I'm never going to catch it. I will never have the perfect dog. We're never going to run, the perfect test. We're never going to compete at a perfect level. We're never going to have the perfect hunt. We're never going to have the perfect life. We will not be perfect. That doesn't hold me back from striving for it, but we will not be perfect. I want you to understand that. I want you to understand that, because you cannot lose sleep and feel like you are failing because you are not perfect. It's never going to happen. Now, once you acknowledge and accept that, okay, put that in the memory bank and go try to be perfect. But it's just been really interesting to me how many people I have talked to over social media, over emails, over phone calls, that is what is bothering them. The dog's not perfect. I had one video, I can't remember who it came from, and the dog lined the blind. Lined it. No whistles, back, right there, whap. It's like, gosh, like he could have done that like a little better. And I'm like, man, was legitimately frustrated that it wasn't that tiny bit better. And I'm like, man, you need to celebrate your wins. That is as good of a blind as any. Most people would die to have a dog that does that. Celebrate that. Don't sit there and be weighed down by the one little thing you want to focus on. Right? We've gotten much better at that at our business. We just talked about this today with a client. I was once told by a great business mentor of mine that of your clientele, you're going to love 90% and you're going to hate 10% of them. But the problem with that scenario and that ratio is that the 10% that you hate, the ones that complain, the ones that are up your tail all the time, they are a thorn in your side and you hate seeing their emails come across, you hate seeing their name come across caller ID, you hate that, they'll take up 90% of your time. And the 10% of the people that you love and adore, or the 90% rather, you give the rest of the 10%. It's not okay. We have actually intentionally made it so that wasn't the case. We actively talk about that. Okay. Perfection. Okay. Don't hang on the one little thing that's bugging you. Acknowledge the 10% that you want to get better at. That's great. But celebrate the 90. Celebrate the 90. Make sure that you're acknowledging this, because you're never going to reach it. You are supposed to fail. You're supposed to fail in life. You're supposed to fail in school. You're supposed to fail in sports. You're supposed to fail with your dogs. The reason you're supposed to fail is because that's where you find yourself. That is where you find your dog, your relationship. You find it in those failures. Guys, perfection is only a word because imperfection was there. That's it. Without imperfection, perfection wouldn't be a thing. Embrace the imperfection. There is no way you can truly appreciate the wins until you've lost. There's just not. The Golden State Warriors, I'm not at all a Golden State fan at all, but pretty dang good team. They won another championship this year. And you saw the tears and the excitement. And, some people are like, gosh, they've done this before. Big deal. Well, guess what? It is a big deal to them. Because last year, they lost the play-in game, didn't even make it to the playoffs. They know what it's like to lose. That's why the winning is so sweet. Embrace it. Chase perfection. I do every single day. But don't lose your mind over it. And don't get frustrated. Enjoy this ride, you guys. It's a good one. I hope everyone has a fantastic, great, excellent 4th of July weekend. Come back and talk with me next week, and we'll chat some more. Have a great weekend, you guys.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Leave us a review on iTunes, and a special thank you to DUK, because without them, we couldn't do what we do here, bringing this information to you.